Auto Reverse is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Auto reverse, reverse.
And welcome back to Auto Reverse, the show where we do a deep dive into hip-hop's most influential mixtapes. I'm your host, DJ Ryan Fresh. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I want to send a few shout-outs to YouTube user Madepaka. If you're Pinoy, that name is fucking dope. We had a exchange on YouTube, on the YouTube comments, about the influence of these mixtapes, and that's definitely what I wanted to do in creating this series, is to find other like-minded people where we have this experience of, you know, this is how we learned how to DJ, this is how we learned how to scratch. Shoutouts to you, this is a fun conversation. And shoutouts to NostalgiaKing.com for sharing the Conmen video, and also shoutouts to the Conmen who retweeted the link to the video, and Jake1 shared a nice story about where that mixtape was recorded, which was pretty cool. To get that little addendum to the video that I made a couple weeks ago. So thank you once again. Today's episode we discuss DJ Shortkut's Reconstructed Elements. If you know of Shortkut, you know that he is pretty much the template of what a model DJ should be. He is a card-carrying member of the Invisible Scratch Pickles, the Beat Junkies, and Triple Threat DJs, who, by the way, if you've never seen live, you're missing out. As exemplified by Legions of Boom by Oliver Wong, Shortkut got his start in the Bay Area mobile scene. By the way, if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. It's a great fucking read. He also continued on past the mobile scene, participating in DJ battles and being a figurehead of the late 90s, early 2000s turntablist movement, and he's still doing amazing things today. Look up on YouTube, look at the videos that he's done just in the last year, and you know, Shortkut has kept his chops and is keeping young people on their toes. Reconstructed Elements is sort of a mixed bag, pardon the pun, of routines, of blends. It has a little bit of everything, and it surprised me because of that when I first got it 20 years ago. But it's also for that reason why it's my desert island mixtape. So, you know, enough of me, Jack John. Let's talk about Shortkut's Reconstructed Elements.
Lá em Copacabana que tem tudo de bom, tudo que é de bem. Suco de acerola com maçã e vem do pé meu bem.
Now here's a funky. Now here's a funky. Now here's a funky. Now here's a funky. It's a funky introduction. Now here's a funky introduction. Here's a funky introduction. Here's a funky introduction.
With his reputation as an excellent selector, deft scratcher, and juggler, and having footing in two of the most well-known DJ crews, Invisible Scratch Pickles and the Beat Junkies, at the time, Shortkut had a lot to live up to for a solo release. Sure, we had seen what he was capable of on Turntable TV, which further whet the appetites of every DJ nerd with a dial-up connection and a collection of traded DMC video cassettes. But what would he do? As we'd come to learn, he made something that featured what he does best, which was everything. Shortkut's Reconstructed Elements is a 60-minute mixtape built on the notion of recreating Golden Age hip-hop songs using its original source material. Yet the further you go into the cassette, you find these continued left turns until you find yourself at the end nodding along to Casual and Saphir's That Bullshit. There's routines, blends, and even a deep, late-era Tribe Called Quest song that I'm pretty sure I got into because of this cassette. It was a variety pack of one of the most well-rounded DJs in the game. I mean, the dude was in a fucking Gap commercial.
As a teen in the late 90s who was super into turntablism, there were parts of me that were taken aback that Shortkut had put out a tape that was as diverse as it was. But then again, thinking about it now, 20 years later, it was probably the best move, which is why I'm talking about Reconstructed Elements 2 decades removed. At that time, scratch DJs, particularly young ones like myself, were fickle. The quote that Shortkut said in Life Sucks Die reflects how we were at the time. We evolved and got better at our craft, but that's to say that I felt a little guilty for not falling for Reconstructed Elements immediately. Of course, maybe it's not that kind of tape. Shortkut's mixtape was a constant in my Walkman and in my car for years. When I got a mini disc recorder, Reconstructed Elements was the first tape that I converted to a digital file. It's something that never left because every time I put it on, there were new things that I noticed. A funky scratch pattern, a seamless blend. This was everything I wanted, and it took time for me to understand as much. Because of that, it makes for an incredibly deep time capsule for me. To continue this thought, there's guest appearances from the likes of Triple Threat and Fifth Platoon DJ Vinrock, as well as the late great DJ Swift Rock from the Supernatural Turntable Artists. I could make a list of great random moments from this tape, like the meticulously edited First Family Drug skit or the premiere of a track from Q*bert's to-be-released debut album, Wave Twisters. There are sections that get stuck in your mind once you listen to it enough times, as is such with Shortkut's Listen to the Bass Juggle, which also opened up his routine for the 1998 US DMC Finals. In thinking about the last 20 years since I first bought Reconstructed Elements, one thing as a fan that I would love to see is this recording recreated live. Thanks to advances in DJ technology, it's something that can be done, and I believe that says a lot about Shortkut's talent as a DJ and as a musician. He successfully released a mixtape that is an indelible part of the late 90s, early 2000s DJ culture, and it's something that I think would make an awesome live show. And to me, there's no question of whether he can do it. If you've seen any of his live performances in the last 5 years, let alone the past 20, we know he can. But will he?
And thanks for joining me again on Auto Reverse. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe to the channel, like any one of the videos, and feel free to hit me up on the comments. What other mixtapes should I cover? What other types of DJ videos should I do? If that doesn't work out for you, you can always hit me up on social media. I'm available at any one of these platforms. Additionally, Seattle got hit with a ton of snow last week, so I put together a 90s East Coast hip-hop mixtape called Dead Ass Tim's Mix, which you can check out here on my Mixcloud. And if you like what you hear, feel free to book me. I'm taking bookings for the month of March. I'm also going to be in LA for the first week of March, so if you have a club down there, let your boy know. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it immensely. And I will check you guys later on Auto Reverse. Peace.